So, first things first, we need to know where these events really took place. Cambodia, which borders Vietnam and the Gulf of Thailand, is divided into 21 provinces. The capital of the country, as seen, is right here, and the Khmer Rouge really rose to power in this area. As seen over here in Germany, the fighting was very broad across many countries. This would also play a role later in how the Holocaust compares.
The Cambodian genocide started within the Civil War. Vietnam soldiers had a base in Cambodia during the war, and the American soldiers saw the base and decided to bomb it, killing about 150,000 civilians. This led to the people of Cambodia getting scared and they started to flee. Fortunately, the people of Cambodia fled right into the arms of Khmer Rouge's army. As more and more bombs hit, the Khmer Rouge army decided it was a perfect opportunity to recruit children to fight back against the U.S. Army. The Holocaust started by encouraging Jews to emigrate out of Germany and into different countries, and there wasn't a plan to kill any Jews. As some Jews argued and raged over this immigration, they ended up being shot and killed. The killings grew at a rapid rate, and planned massacres started to occur, which led to this horrific genocide that started on January 30th, 1933, when Adolf Hitler was appointed German Chancellor. Adolf Hitler wanted to help to kill the Jews and started creating concentration camps where Jews were held and eventually put to their death.
So these are the similarities between the Cambodian genocide and the Holocaust. So the Nazis believed that Germans were members of a master race, superior in mind and body to all other people. The Nazi state sought to foster this supposed superiority. The Khmer Rouge ideology was that the Khmer Rouge interpretation of a Maoist communism allowed them to believe that they could create a classless society simply by eliminating all social classes except for old people. So the Nazis believed that they were the superior race. The Khmer Rouge, their war aim was to attain a particular line in the east, but like to physically destroy the enemy. So similarities between the Holocaust and Cambodian genocide. Nazi Holocaust and Cambodian genocide, though occurring in different places and under very different circumstances, are similar in how political/ideological and racially motivated acts of violence can both constitute as genocide. Just like the Holocaust, the Khmer Rouge targeted a certain group of people. Hitler and the Nazis also targeted a certain group of people, which were the Jews. So although the death counts were different, there was both millions of killed in both genocides. Forced population relocation. So Hitler forced Jews to be sent into the ghettos, where the Khmer Rouge forced many ethnicities into different provinces along the country. So both involved forced relocation of populations into centers, and they had both considered crimes against humanity, where people were killed, maimed, tortured, etc. And they tried to purge their countries along racial, political, and social lines. And the ideology played a major part in the killings in the Cambodian genocide and the Holocaust. And labor killed many through exhaustion and starvation in the labor camps and the work farms. So the ill, weak, and young were targeted and killed because they did not serve any purpose for working. Specific similarities. So the ill, elderly, and young who were incapable of making the journey to the camps were murdered on the spot in Cambodia. This is also the case with the Nazis, as the ill, young, and elderly were taken to the showers and gassed to death or killed in other various ways. In both cases, if you were picked to work, you would most likely die through starvation, sickness, and exhaustion. And so the Khmer Rouge and the Nazis played God, as they could kill anyone at any time that they wanted. It's military. So the Nazi and Khmer Rouge basically controlled everything in the country. And the international response was similar, as a lot of people opposed the Khmer Rouge and the German Holocaust.
So moving on to the differences, we must address the more blatant ones. There are the basic things such as location of the Holocaust itself was focused more in Germany, and the Holocaust was also in a time before the Cambodian genocide, and this was putting ideas forward that were new to the world at the time. In a time of such progress too, the Germany fell into a major depression hurting their economy, and this would later cause unrest throughout the country. The depression really rooted from World War I and Germany's loss due to large political instability left in the country after the war. This instability later led to the collapse of the German economy, which many people unemployed. Large amounts of anger was then channeled to a common enemy, the Jews. Hitler, with his anti-Semitic speech, then transformed the German population through the power of words to support his ideas and actions he took. Just as in Germany, in Cambodia, there was lots of turmoil going on within its population centers. The Cambodian genocide occurred in the middle of the Vietnam War. As we can recall, Cambodia borders Vietnam. With a large portion of the war happening in Vietnam, repercussions could be felt in Cambodia. This brought on a common enemy, the Americans. The Holocaust, too, was on a much larger scale, with Jews from all over Europe being killed, while the Cambodian genocide focused more on minorities in Cambodia alone. In Cambodia, around 3 million people died and 1.7 million from hard labor and starvation. This is minor compared to the 6 million Jews alone who died in the Holocaust. The biggest difference, though, was initial motives for much of the conflicts. In Cambodia, much was pushed for in order to create an agrarian socialism. This was one of the main reasons the Khmer Rouge pushed for more control over their country. In Germany, though, we can see a more ideological base pushing them, as they believe in the forming one true race. While both did share a desire for eradicating less desirables, it was less of a focus on the Cambodian genocide compared to the Holocaust. Thank you for listening to our similarities and differences on the Holocaust and the Cambodian genocide.